Hey everyone, and Happy New Year. This is the review of the best Garmin Instinct yet. At least I believe it to be so. It's the Garmin Instinct 3 Tactical Dual Power at the 45mm size. Now, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but from this generation of Garmin Instincts, and I actually had to write this down, I have owned the Instinct 3 AMOLED 50mm, then the Instinct 3 MIP Dual Power 50mm, then the Instinct 3 Tactical AMOLED 50mm, and then the Instinct 3 Dual Power MIP 45mm. But I finally settled on the Garmin Instinct 3 Tactical Dual Power 45mm. So you're probably wondering, why so many changes? Well, it's been this ongoing search for me to find the perfect watch in the Instinct 3 series, and I feel confident I finally found it, and I'll tell you why. I really like the color scheme of the Instinct 3 AMOLED 50mm, but after a while I wanted longer battery life, so I got the Instinct 3 Dual Power 50mm. But the Dual Power version is much grayer than the AMOLED version. I like the beautiful all black of the Instinct 3 Tactical AMOLED, but again, fell into that trap of wanting more battery. And honestly, after a while it was too much flash, though wow, what a great looking watch. And then the 45mm Instinct 3 Dual Power was the most comfortable, especially when paired with the nylon band. It's so light, it's got great battery, but that orange accent bothered me after a bit. So what is it that I really wanted? I wanted a watch that really embodies the essence of the Instinct series on an MIP display. A watch that's all black with no colored accents and has great battery, and is also at that 45mm size, making it the most comfortable to wear. So because of this, I've landed on, again, what I think is the best in the series. The Garmin Instinct 3 Tactical Dual Power 45mm, especially paired with the nylon band, has been the best experience so far. Now, of course, I wish I could have figured this out from the start, saving me from buying 4 different Instinct 3 models before coming to this conclusion, but it's really been great. Now, I would be remiss to not mention some of the potential negatives with this watch. Again, not enough for me to change my decision, but something you might want to consider. Of course, the MIP screen just isn't as flashy, it's not as exciting. In real-world terms, statistics like, heart rate zones and altitude, they are easier to read and understand on a colorful screen. Stages of sleep, VO2 max. Yes, these are usually numerical, but adding color to them does help you understand them better. So for example, on this MIP display, the heart rate zone during a run is simply just a number. So for example, if I'm in zone 3, it just simply shows me the number 3, which is fine. But on my AMOLED version, it gives me the whole chart, highlights I'm in zone 3, and also tells me what my current heart rate is at the same time. The downside of having a smaller watch like this one in the 45mm form factor, it's a little cramped when you have multiple run metrics on the screen. If you're anything like me, I like to have one data screen on my runs that has everything. On an MIP display on this 45mm version, I can only fit 5 data points max. On an AMOLED, for example, you can comfortably fit 6 in full color on the 50mm version. Now again, beauty and preference is in the eye of the beholder. A smaller screen means a smaller body, which usually means lighter weight. This Instinct 3 45mm version is so light, especially if you pair it with a nylon band. Sometimes, on runs, I forget it's even on my wrist. It's so much more comfortable to sleep with at night as well. Now, all the Instinct series have great battery life. If you've got great battery life, you'll likely want to keep it on your wrist as much as possible. So weight, I think, is more important in this case. This MIP display is much easier on the eyes, looks absolutely beautiful in the sun. It's easier to see outside. It's got good contrast to all the other screens we have in our lives. When you've got so many things flashing at you between iPads, PCs, and TVs, I think it's quite nice to have something simple like an MIP display. I don't want another shiny, overly colorful screen on my wrist as well. And I think a simpler screen naturally cuts distractions. Sure, I can check my notifications, I can check the weather, the sunset time on my watch, but on an MIP display it's not as exciting. So that in itself stops me from having another screen to look at and tire my eyes. So yes, in closing, for my money, the Instinct 3 Tactical Dual Power 45mm is the watch I would choose if I could only choose one for the rest of my life. It has all the fitness features 90% of people want or need. It pushes notifications from my phone, again, not flashy, but enough. And it's the closest to a normal watch while also being a smartwatch in my opinion. But yes, it's overpriced. But if you value all the fitness tools, but in a non-distracted form factor, in all black, then this is the watch for you. Ultimately, again, the reason you buy a watch like this is because you like how it looks. You like the G-Shock style watch, a round face. You like the tools it provides as far as great GPS, heart rate sensor, sport modes and stats, but packaged in a very simple form factor. And if it's an MIP version, it's an even simpler black and white, which has been greatly improved from previous generations. Thanks for listening so much. Again, I think this is the watch to go with if you are an MIP for life type of user. But in the meantime, charge less and run more. See you.